Marbella with Him and Her are proud to be sponsored by the friendliest bar in San Pedro, the Hogan Stand. The place for amazing food, live music and sport, karaoke, quizzes, and a welcoming smile. Why would you want to go anywhere else? Check out their Instagram page at the Hogan Stand and at the Hogan Hackers for their golf society.
This podcast may contain adult themes and strong language. Welcome to Marbella with Him and Her, brought to you by the Hogan Stand. He is
PJ Lopez and she is
Hannah Murray.
I'm knackered.
You've just been doing the garden.
Yeah, I've been gardening for a second week in a row.
Well done.
I'm not a gardener.
Well, you are.
I don't have green fingers.
They're pretty green. No, they're a bit brown, actually.
What are you trying to say?
From dirt, from hard work.
Wash my hands.
Okay, maybe it's just a tan then.
It's
a good thing. Tan. Oh, I'm trying. I have got a tan. I'm going to put some fake stuff on tonight, I reckon. I forgot to mention our cobbler friend Peter.
He is the shoe whisperer.
The shoe whisperer.
Or maybe the shoe sniffer.
Don't. So last Saturday at Aoife's 40th birthday party in the Hogan Stand, one after the other, both of my shoes broke. I was wearing gold platform shoes and the straps just basically came off on one of my shoes. And I was like, great. I'm obviously not having great luck with shoes because obviously that happened like a month or so ago.
I think it's a summer thing and you've got fat feet in the summer. No. I meant your feet swell up in the summer, don't they? So maybe if they...
How have you managed to turn this around to make me feel bad about myself? I wanted to say it shows you that I need more shoes.
No. It's not bad about yourself. I don't mean like fat as in fat.
You just said I've got fat feet.
I mean, everybody's feet get fatter in the summer.
I can't lose weight on my feet.
No, but that's what probably happened. That's probably what's happening.
I'm going to be really self-conscious about my feet.
I don't mean fat feet. I meant like
I just have a wide instep, okay?
Swollen feet. That's what I meant, swollen.
You've said it now. Anyway, my massive clunky boat feet broke the shoe and my caring husband went to buy some super glue, and then Peter Bennett stepped up and said, I'll fix it for you, Han. Like, amazing. He was like a cobbler and he fixed my shoe and I was careful with it. I was trying to be really delicate. I had a bit of a dance and everything. And then the other shoe broke. Both straps came off. It was unbelievable. And Peter fixed the other shoe and they're absolutely fine.
And they all say we've got a superhero in all of us and Peter is a cobbler.
Peter's a cobbler.
Super cobbler.
As is Amy, because Amy fixed my shoe last time it broke, a different shoe. So maybe Peter and Amy should get together and set up a new business.
Yeah, repair shop for shoes.
Yeah,
actually, repair shop just for your shoes.
Yeah, just for mine. Yes, Hannah's shoes, it can be called. So thank you, Peter. I can't believe I forgot to mention I got loads of photos and video footage of him fixing my shoes as well. On a very serious note, this literally brought a tear to my eye when I saw this earlier this week. Last week on the podcast, we mentioned the devastating fires in Almeria and the loss of life. And I said that I'd seen various social media photographs of a girl, a daughter, looking for her parents. She didn't live with her parents, obviously, and she had lost contact with her parents who lived in this area, and she was desperately trying to find them. We mentioned this on the podcast last week, and literally the next day after we'd recorded the podcast, I saw a post saying that it had been confirmed that her parents had died in the fire.
That's awful.
Absolutely just so tragic. Imagine losing both of your parents like that. It's just awful.
I can't imagine. It's just not something you want to imagine. I mean, there's lots of tragedy when these sort of things happen, and you're just grateful that it's not us or anyone we know, but it's still tragic.
So Fran and Pete were their names, so R.I.P. Fran and Pete. On Wednesday last week, we had quite a busy week. I do Good Morning Spain filming on a Wednesday morning, so I was up early for that, then went straight to work. Then when I finished work at the radio station, went straight to pick you up from work in Guadalmina, and we went straight to La Campana to watch the Regina Monologues performance by ITS, the International Theatre Studio.
And I've got to say, I wasn't looking forward to it.
No, I mean, it's obviously all about, I say obviously, at first when they mentioned it, I thought she said Vagina Monologues, which is a famous play.
I would have been looking forward to that more.
Yeah, that sounded much more fun. But Regina Monologues is all about the wives of Henry VIII, but it's a modernised version. But we were both a bit like, doesn't really seem like our kind of thing. It was so good, wasn't it?
You teared up.
Multiple times. I got goosebumps multiple times. We were laughing out loud. Really, really funny. I mean, when I say modernised, they had mobile phones. They were talking about online dating. I mean, it was as if it was in the present day. And it was laced with humour, really, really funny, and some great characters. It was cast brilliantly. Fiona was the director, so congratulations to Fiona. It was brilliantly cast. But there was also some serious, hard-hitting stuff in there. One of Henry VIII's wives was married and beheaded when she was like 15.
Yeah, well, it's weird because I watched a series the other day, the first part of that series is called Killer Kings. I thought, that sounds quite interesting. So it's a documentary series, and the first one was about Henry VIII, and oh my God, what a psychopath.
Yeah,
I mean,
not a nice man
psychopath.
at all. It was awful. So most people will know Henry VIII had 6 wives.
It was divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived.
This play just kind of brought it all to life. That's the interesting thing about history, isn't it? History is something that happened in the past. We can't really relate to it because we weren't alive then. You know what I mean? It's very easy to distance yourself from history, particularly something that's hundreds of years ago. And then because this was modernised, it was really brought to life, and you realised these were obviously real people with real feelings, and it was just utterly horrendous. So the third wife, I think it was, of Henry VIII was only 15, which of course was more normal then. It wasn't a massive scandal.
Fourth wife, I think.
Fourth wife. And she was raped. She basically, how it came out in this play, her father was having trouble with his business. I mean, this was the modernised version, obviously. And she just kind of went to Henry's house to play in the pool as a kid, and he raped her. And she ended up marrying him because her father needed, this came out in the play, as I say, she ended up marrying him because her father needed money for his business, and she did it basically to please her father. It was just awful. And the girl who played this role was fantastic. We've never seen her before in ITS. And she was shaking and she was crying as she was talking about these traumatic experiences of being abused. And it was so powerful, wasn't it?
I literally had a lump in my throat.
Yeah, it was really well done. So congratulations to all the women, and our friend Eleanor was in it as well. She was fantastic. And Sue Hall as well. Really great performances from all the women, and well done to Fiona for the brilliant casting and direction. As soon as that finished, we pretty much ran to the car, and we had time to go home, didn't we?
Yeah, we got home, had a quick wash, got changed and dashed out again.
Yeah, and legged it up to Hogan's to get there to watch the England match in the semi-final of the World Cup, England versus Argentina. And to start with, it was going pretty well, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were attacking, they scored, they looked good, they had most of the play up until the 85th minute, and then it went all terribly wrong.
Oh, it was before then that it went terribly wrong, in fairness. It was most of the second half, wasn't it? They were just all about defending.
Yeah, they went very defensive, and Tuchel made some bad decisions, I think I'm going to say. I'm not a football manager, so what do I know? But it seems the whole nation thinks he made a bad decision and went too defensive against a team that is extremely good at attacking.
I find it weird how you say you're not a football expert, but it's true. Everybody you speak to who says, I'm not a football expert, but it seems to be obvious for everybody except the England manager that was a really bad call.
Even Trump said so.
And that's saying something.
And he knows bugger all about football.
God. But no, really, really weird. So real shame. It really looked like England were going to win, but then it all went horribly wrong. And 85th minute, Argentina scored 2 goals in the space of like 10 minutes and it became 2-1. So England are now out of the World Cup.
But they're playing tonight to see who comes third.
Oh, it's just so ridiculous, utterly pointless. How many teams can you name who came third in World Cup history?
Not at all.
Nobody cares.
No.
It's who wins, and also often you remember who played against them. It's the 2 teams in the final.
The 2 teams that didn't get through to the final are gutted. So the last thing they want to do is play in another match to see who comes third and who comes fourth.
I know.
Who cares?
It's really pointless.
They didn't get through to the final. End of.
Do you think they'll be trying?
I think he might just put an experimental team out, to be honest.
Do you think there'll be an element of pride where they want to come
There's
third?
always pride playing, because they're playing France, so there's always going to be a bit of pride against France.
They'll want to beat France, won't they, surely?
Every match, the team wants to win. So that doesn't change, whether it's a friendly, whether it's this type of thing. But I just think it's a pointless thing to make them go through.
Yeah. So Argy Bargies won. That's their official name. So we're now full on supporting Spain, which we're more than happy to do. We've got our Spanish flags, our Spanish tops, and we're looking forward to going to Hogan's on Sunday night to give our full support to Spain and hope that they thrash the Argentinians.
Vamos España.
Vamos España indeed. Thursday night quiz was an interesting one. There were a few regulars who cried off due to various reasons. So you were the only one on your team, the director's cut. Lucy was the only one from her team missing in action. So you both joined the Smuts, my dad's team. And I came up with a really cool name for you all, which was Smutty Directors in Action.
Very good.
And you were.
We were, yes. What a dream team.
It was great. You got 61 points.
Yeah, massive score. We have a WhatsApp group for our own team, the Directors' Cup, and they said, have I made a transfer out of the team to the Smuts? And I said, no, I've just been put on loan and I am returning next week.
Yes, absolutely. But well done. You all did really well. Good little team.
Yeah, well, Lucy's very, very good at literature.
Yeah.
And we hummed and hawed about one of the questions, which was about the detective, the first detective from the Tuesday Night Club.
Tuesday Night Club.
Yeah, and who was that detective? And it was in 1927.
The story from 1927 called The Tuesday Night Club was the first, what do you call it?
Appearance.
First appearance, thank you, of which fictional detective?
And we went through different ones, and we went through Poirot, and we first started off with Sherlock Holmes and thought, no, way too late for Sherlock Holmes.
A few teams put Sherlock Holmes.
So then we said, okay, it's got to be Agatha Christie. That's her exact time she was writing and very prolific. And then we thought, who came first, Poirot, or was it Miss Marple? So we went Miss Marple because we decided she was earlier, and we were right.
Yes, well done. I had a lovely day yesterday. I did my Pilates. I met my dad at Amberchew for a bit of brekkie. And then I spent the day enjoying sunshine at Kalakaua. The most comfy beds ever. The thickest mattresses. And they're only €15. Really well worth it.
Are they thicker than the ones that we paid €10 for?
Oh, 100%. They're like thicker than our bed, I reckon. They're proper massive mattresses.
I might sleep there tonight then.
Yeah, I would. I met my friend Charlotte for lunch and we had some really delicious food, had some chipollones, the berenjenas frita, the fried aubergines with miel, with honey. They're the best ever at Kalakaua, and their prawn and avocado salad, which is gorgeous.
Yeah, what did I have? Beans on toast or something, I think.
We had the most amazing dinner though. You got some delicious pork from where? Carrefour in San Pedro, the one in the centre.
Yeah, I've quite got into the sort of pork fillets. We often buy the whole solomillo of pork, which is just the loin, really. It's a big, long thing. But what this is just cut into medallions, really. So I'm quite into cooking that now. And I just literally cover it in curry powder. So I toss it in oil and curry powder, and then I grill it. And literally only sort of 5 to 7 minutes each side.
And it's really cheap, isn't it, compared to beef?
It's like €2-3. I mean, it's so cheap and so tasty, so lean. It's really good for you as well. And I made my own curry sauce.
It was really nice. So we had pork curry last night.
With poppadoms.
Poppadoms. I was invited, or Good Morning Spain team were invited, to go and try out a yoga and sound bath class this morning at Hard Rock Hotel. So Nicole and I went along and it was really good. Nicole said it was Pilates, but it was actually more yoga. And I'm not a big fan of yoga, and neither is Nicole, funnily enough, but we really quite enjoyed it. It was a lot of stretching, a lot of balance. And I realised I'm getting a lot more flexible since doing Pilates. I mean, I did gymnastics when I was younger, so I've always been pretty flexible. But obviously, you know, when you do less and less as an adult, you know, I can't still do the splits or anything. But obviously with the Pilates that I'm doing, my flexibility has got a lot better and my balance is really good as well. So I was really quite pleased with how well I did.
Well done you. Can I just say, I'm feeling a little bit intimidated.
Why?
Well, there's a rather well-endowed man right in front of my eye line.
There's a rather well-endowed woman right in front of my eye line as well.
You're watching the Katie Price
I'm
documentary.
watching part 3 of the Katie Price documentary. I'm really enjoying it.
Paused it on a very inappropriate section.
Yes. Sorry about that.
I'm feeling quite intimidated.
Don't be silly. Well, look at the size of her bosom. She makes me look flat-chested.
Hardly.
Yes.
He must have a sock down there.
Oh, stop it. After I did the class this morning, I scooped you up and off we went to Remy for some €6 Eggs Benedict.
It's still the best Eggs Benedict in town.
It really is. Not
and
just
the
because...
cheapest.
Yeah, it's not the best because it's the cheapest. It's the best because it is the best. We love it. Really, really good.
And we bumped into some more people there.
Yeah, Warren was there having breakfast because he'd seen us talk about it. And he said that there was a big family and apparently last night for dinner who'd said that they'd seen the recommendation from us. So that's nice. We're not on commission. We just seriously love this place. I said to Warren, well, you can tell we're not lying because here we are.
Yeah, and I will say, if you haven't yet tried Remy for either breakfast, lunch, or their amazing dinner menu, which we've spoken about numerous times, please do.
Yeah, definitely. I went to get my nails done at Sol, the Vietnamese place in San Pedro, opposite the 24-hour pharmacy. It was really busy. You can't book appointments there. You just have to turn up and wait. And I was unbelievably shocked and embarrassed to be human with these Dutch women that were there. I assume they were Dutch. You can kind of tell by the accent. And I'm really surprised because Dutch people don't have a reputation of being rude at all. In fact, I don't think I've ever met a rude Dutch person. This woman was absolutely vile the way she was speaking to the guys. She was getting a pedicure and she was shouting at them in English. She kept repeating what she was saying. I mean, I'm kind of glad that she wasn't English because English people do have a bit of a reputation of being rude to foreigners by shouting even louder in their own language.
Well, that's
you know what I mean?
That's a thing, isn't it? If they don't understand you because they don't understand your language, the English speak slower and shout, as if that makes all the difference.
Which is awful. And that's what this Dutch woman was doing. She wanted 3 coats on her toes for some reason, and they traditionally only do 2. She's going, 3, I want 3 coats. I told you I want 3 coats. She was shouting. She was like, why aren't you listening to me? For God's sake, I'm starting to get angry now. And I'm seriously toning it down because her tone of voice was really angry and really vile. And I said at one point, well, he doesn't speak English. Maybe if you use Google Translate, you'll be able to communicate better. And then her friend started speaking to me in Spanish, saying, I speak Spanish and I'm speaking to him in Spanish, but he's still not listening to what we're saying. But it was their attitude. There was no please, thank you, would you mind? He obviously got fed up of being shouted at and went to another client to do something. And they do that a lot. They're kind of, while your toes are drying, they'll start doing something else. They're very efficient, you know, trying to do as many different people as possible to get people in and out as quickly as possible. And I think her toes were drying and he went to someone else and she's going, excuse me, can you listen to me? I'm talking to you, excuse me. Like
You're hurting my ears.
I'm sorry, I'm really, well, she was.
There is, our listeners are probably going to switch off.
I'll turn the volume down. I was actually standing there paying and I had my hand over my ear because she was standing next to me and she was speaking in Dutch at this time to her friend. And she was unbelievably loud. I've never seen behaviour like it. I really haven't. The rest of us were all looking at each other in shock. It was disgusting. The woman should be ashamed of herself.
I agree. There's no need to speak to other human beings like that.
No. She was literally...
Now move on, for goodness sake, you silly cow.
Oh, stop. It was like that. Don't like it. I have some extremely exciting news, assuming it doesn't taste horrendous. I went to Mercadona and was looking in the wine section and could not believe that they have brought a new product, which is New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc from Marlborough, which is the best quality Sauvignon Blanc you can get in the world. I'm a big Sauvignon Blanc fan, and if you like Sauvignon Blanc, most people will know that New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc is kind of better quality than...
Cloudy Bay is amazing.
Yeah, a really good one. But it has to be from Marlborough. But yeah, it's traditionally a lot more expensive. It's being imported, and it is generally better quality. They're now selling it in Mercadona for €3.60.
I mean, that's amazing on its own. Not the obviously the price is great, but they don't generally do overseas wines in Mercadona.
No, there aren't many at all. No, absolutely.
I mean, Lidl and Aldi do a little bit of a range of other nationality wines, but Mercadona generally haven't ever done that.
There's a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc in Aldi, which is, I think it's €6. I think it's $5.99, and that's my general preference. But this is $3.60. The make is the Governor, and that's a brand of red wine that they do, the Governor. So it's the same brand.
So
but it's
we're going to try it tonight. So it'll either be brilliant or we'll be putting it on our fish and chips.
Yes, we'll let you know. I'm assuming it's going to be good. Fingers crossed.
We should do that now. I think here's a new section we should do on the podcast, Wine of the Week. And we should talk about a wine.
That's making us be committed to drinking lots of wine.
I don't think we need to commit to doing it. We do.
No, fair enough. I mean, you'll know, living in Spain or coming on holiday to Spain, the price of wine in supermarkets compared to the UK and Ireland is unbelievable. I bought 2 bottles of red as well, one to use for Tinto de Veranos, and it's still drinkable on its own. Still a Crianza, which is a medium body wine, €2. And then I bought another one for us to drink on its own, €2.90. And we really like them, and we're really quite particular with our wines.
What happened to this drinking sherry thing that you were going through? We still have a bottle of sherry, don't we?
Yeah, well, I do like it every so often, but it does give me a bit of a headache, I have to say.
See, should have known that before you bought it.
Well, no, I'm still drinking it, but it's not an every night drink.
Well, that's not what you said when you bought it.
No, it's not what I said.
You would replace wine with it.
No, I did never say that. A few interviews from Talk Radio Europe that I did this week that I wanted to mention. Leslie Spellman is the co-founder of the Declutter Hub. Her colleague Ingrid, I've interviewed loads over the years, but I had Leslie on because I got an email, whatever you call that they send out to people.
Newsletter,
thank you. Broadcast?
Yes.
It's just a newsletter.
Term for it.
I've never had that. Anyway, I got a newsletter from Leslie where she was talking about the fact that her father had come out of hospital sooner than expected. He'd had a hip operation, I think, and she had to get the house ready for him. And she was just talking about all the organisations of getting the house ready. So I had her on to talk about organising your home for a big change, whether it's coming out of hospital, having a new baby, or even moving home, and the importance of preparation, how preparation is key. Don't leave everything to the last minute. And it's so funny. I don't even know myself when I'm talking about decluttering. It's literally one of my favourite subjects to talk about on the radio. I'm so passionate about it since I did it for the first time in 2020. I absolutely love it.
Well, here, can you go outside then and declutter the shed?
If I had time, yes. I get excited about doing it, honestly. I love it. And I've helped a few friends do it here. And people keep suggesting that I should do it as a business. I'd literally love to. I just don't have time.
Hannah the declutterer.
Yeah, it's so cleansing.
Well, go on then. Sheds are waiting.
No, I'm a bit busy now. But if you're interested in decluttering, they have a podcast called The Declutter Hub, and they've also brought out a book called Reset Your Home, so you can get some inspiration from there. Ellie McDonald from Be Spain Savvy, we talked about her last week, talking about the double parking and how she inspired me to be a lot more tolerant with double parkers. You've been in the car with me today now. Was I a bit better?
You were. You didn't swear?
No.
When you did it quite nicely.
And then I laughed afterwards and it was funny.
Yes. I think I might have sworn though, because there were some right idiots out there today.
Well, something that happened today, which really did piss me off, that I didn't laugh at because it was utterly ridiculous. A car turned the corner and we were right behind them, but the car turned the corner and then just stopped in the middle of the road.
It's bloody dangerous.
It's really dangerous. And there was a while before someone got out of the car. But I was like, what makes people think that's acceptable driving or safe driving?
It's arrogant driving. It's like they think they're the only person on the road and they don't care about anyone else on the road.
It's madness, isn't it? And they didn't put their indicator on or didn't put their warning lights on. They turn the corner and just stop. And if I was going slightly faster, I mean, you shouldn't be going fast going around corners anyway, I could easily have gone into the back of them.
Well, if you were slightly distracted, which can happen, I know you should be paying attention all the time, but slight distraction, you wouldn't have seen them stop and you would have hit them back.
Yeah, that's how easy it is to go into people if you are slightly distracted, isn't
Especially here, because they put bloody zebra crossings when you're literally going around a corner, there's a zebra crossing there. So not only are you paying attention to the road, you're also paying attention to people that might be crossing.
I'm coming back to the car thing in a minute because interestingly there was an article in the Euro Weekly News about it, so I'm going to come back to it. But another thing that Ellie mentioned, which we discussed, was things to do in the Spanish heat besides shopping. She mentioned shopping because El Corte Inglés has fantastic aircon, so it's a real easy place to go.
No, you're not going shopping at El Corte Inglés just to get the aircon. No, we've got aircon here.
I know. But she was saying, giving some good advice and recommendations of things that you can do in the heat that are cooler than being on the beach and being outside. Obviously, El Corte Inglés and shopping is one of them, but there are cheaper things to do, like museums, like art galleries, churches, cathedrals, all a lot cooler. And another thing she mentioned, which we've done quite a lot of, thanks to Bev and Jamie mostly, is caves.
Yeah, but they're not sort of like every other town, are they?
Oh, no, but if you want to go on a day trip as a couple or with the family, with the kids, you can visit some caves.
Yeah, I mean, we've been to a few caves. It's not number one on my list. I don't mind the odd cave.
It's not something you do every day, but if you're trying to...
Do you know what? I think I'd rather go to Corte Inglés.
Okay, fair enough. And one other person I wanted to mention, which could be seen to be quite controversial, but he's a doctor, so I'm just telling you what he said. But I also think he was giving some seriously good advice. And the point is, doing what he says, on the tablet point of view anyway, couldn't do you harm. So that's the important thing. So there's a few different parts to this. So his name is Dr. William Supple Jr.
Supple?
Supple, yes.
Is that his real name?
Yes, supple like me. Mm-hmm. So his book is called The Sunlight Solution, and he's American, and he was talking a bit more about the health of Americans, but he said, to be honest, it's most of the world, certainly non-African countries. He said that many decades ago, people worshipped the sun a lot more, but in recent decades, Americans, he was saying as an example, have been told to fear the sun because of the risk of skin cancer. So people in general spend a lot less time sunbathing and being out in the sun than they might have done 20, 30, 40 years ago through fear of skin cancer. That's statistically true, apparently. And he said he was talking about, the main part of his book was talking about the vitamin D deficiency that he said over 75% of Americans have. They're deficient in vitamin D. And as we all know, the easiest way to get vitamin D is by being in sunlight. But he said he takes really high doses of vitamin D every day. And I wanted to talk to you about this because, I mean, I've started to do it since I had my last blood test. But I said to him, do you think everybody, regardless of their blood test results, should be taking vitamin D every day? And he said yes. He said he ups his in the winter because obviously there is less sunlight. So that was a really interesting one. And he said a lot of serious diseases that people die from, a lot of autoimmune diseases, so arthritic things, and also psoriasis. People don't die from psoriasis, I know. I'm just thinking of different autoimmune diseases that he was mentioning, but also things like cancer, heart disease, all the serious reasons why a lot of people die, he said stems from, most of the time, being vitamin D deficient. He said the importance of having higher doses of vitamin D are crucial for us all.
Have you got any vitamin D tablet?
I have, actually.
Can I have some?
Yeah, definitely.
I actually had a blood test however long ago it was, and I was deficient in vitamin D, which again I was surprised at because we do get lots of sun here, and it seems to be quite popular. I don't know if popular is a word. Common is probably a better word for people in Spain, because their level so when you get a test, it tells you what your level should be. And actually their levels are much higher in Spain than if you were tested in the UK. So UK, they don't think you need quite as high levels of vitamin D, whereas here, most people are deficient because you've got quite a high level that you need to be between.
It's fascinating, isn't it? So please don't go by what I'm saying or what he's saying. Do your own research. But honestly, he seriously convinced me that we need to have more vitamin D in our diet.
Is there vitamin D in wine?
Probably not. The other thing he said, and this is the controversial thing, but you'll smile at this because it's something my mum always said, and I told him this in the interview. We started talking about getting in the sun and sunscreen. He said, the American way is to be afraid of the sun, or if you do go out in the sun, slather yourself in sunscreen. And slather, yeah.
It's a funny word, isn't it? Slather.
He said that a lot of, if not most, sunscreens have horrendous cancer-causing toxins in them.
I've read this, I've seen this, and I've heard this quite a lot.
And this is something Mum always used to say, which people who have never heard this before will go, what? How can that be? That doesn't make any sense.
What I do think, though, is that it's a personal choice.
Oh, of course it is.
And also, it's just something you've
saying
heard.
What he said.
We're not saying do not put sunscreen on, and we're not saying that he's right or he's wrong.
I'm not saying that at all. I haven't. If I just finish what he said, he was saying that, and he said there are sunscreens that you can get that don't have a lot of these toxins in. So he was explaining anything you put onto your skin, any kind of body cream, face cream, sun cream, whatever, it goes into your bloodstream. It doesn't just, there are sunblocks. You'll see like lifeguards and things like that put sunblock on their nose, and you can see it. It's bright white. That blocks the sun. That doesn't go into the skin and into the body. There's a difference between sunblock and sun cream. As we know, when we put sun cream on, it disappears. It soaks into our skin and goes into our bloodstream. And it was just interesting what he said. He said, I understand the fact that if people went out and spent the whole day at the beach and didn't put any sunscreen on, they would get burned and could get blisters and could get skin cancer. He wasn't saying that you can't get skin cancer from being in the sun. And he wasn't saying don't wear any sunscreen. He was just explaining the toxins that are in most sunscreens, so it's worth doing your research into that, just as an aside. But he also said in order for us all to get more of a vitamin D intake, he recommended, if you're in a decent enough climate, to get 10, 15, 20 minutes in the sun without sunscreen. That's what he said.
Well,
but no more than that necessarily.
Work, I think.
Yeah.
And when I walk home.
So over 20 minutes, you're likely to get burnt. So you need to use whatever sun protection.
So when we go to the beach tomorrow, shall I wrap myself in tin foil?
No, but I have got alternative sun creams. I have done the research for many years.
Very good. Yeah. Well, actually, you're like that with shampoos and things. And we don't want to go down this because this is a bit of a rabbit hole. But there are lots of carcinogenic ingredients in lots of different products. Mm-hmm. So again, I advise everybody, if you do care about your body, just to do a bit of research, because it's not just us blaring about it and being sort of conspiracy.
Blaring about it.
Yes, and being conspiracy theorists. As you know, there's been a massive story about Johnson's baby stuff and how they found out that there was lots of carcinogenic stuff in there, and that's a massive lawsuit going on. So,
and yet they're still going.
Yeah, but just do your research, because unfortunately, most of these big companies are in it for the money.
Yeah, just because there's a big advertising campaign behind them, or they've been going for decades, or they're expensive, or they've got a celebrity backing them, doesn't mean it's okay. It really doesn't. So we care a lot more about what we're putting in our mouths, so we should care just as much as about what we're putting in our skin, because that absorbs into our bodies.
I think we are getting wiser, more familiar with the bad things.
Same with makeup, anyway, big rabbit hole, as you said. Let's move on to the Euro Weekly News, our collaborators, a couple of articles to mention. So this caught my eye straight away because of what we were talking about, double parking. So interestingly, I brought up the double parking on Men Talk this week, and Jamie was on Men Talk, and he said... It was so funny. He said, when my wife had some driving lessons, he didn't say that it was over 20 years ago. Bev messaged in to correct him, but it was a long time ago. He said that apparently it's perfectly legal to double park in Spain. You put your hazards on, you just nip in to get something quickly. It's absolutely fine. And Headley, who was on the panel, and said, well, I got fined €50 the other day. I double parked, put the warning lights on, and a policeman came along and fined me. And Jamie was saying, that's strange. That shouldn't have happened. And then Bev messaged, Jamie's wife, messaged me to say, oh no, I don't want to get in trouble for giving people the wrong information. That was over 20 years ago. The law has changed since then. And
you could drink drive 20 years ago in Spain.
Yeah. She Googled it and it said quite categorically, it is illegal to double park in Spain, even with putting your hazard lights on.
Well, hazard lights also are a big thing. People think it's just good to stop and put hazard lights on for any reason, but hazard lights are to show that there is a hazard.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't just use those willy-nilly either. Well, same as what you found out about, I think this was another Euro Weekly News article about using your horn.
Yes, you can't use your horn to tell people to hurry up.
Yeah.
But by bizarre coincidence, there was an article all about this in the Euro Weekly this week, explaining that double parking and using your hazard lights does not make it legal. If you double park, whether you've got your lights on or not, you can face a €200 fine. So just because everybody does it, it doesn't mean it's okay.
Noted.
But we still laugh when they do, as opposed to swear.
Well, to be fair, we've done it.
There was another article for the dog lovers out there. Renfe, the train company in Spain, has opened up all trains to dogs weighing up to 40 kilograms. So from the 21st of July, if you have a relatively small dog, you can take it with you, she with you on your train journey. You have to pay a supplement. The dog needs to sit next to you on a seat. So have a look at the details to make sure you're following the rules. But yeah, that's nice for dog lovers.
What if it wants to poop?
It's a very good question. Have a look on the website. There was another interesting piece for anyone planning any trips around Spain this year. There is a Spain summer driving guide which shows you the cheapest petrol stations on every major route.
Oh, that's handy.
Really handy.
Yeah, because we're always surprised. So we'll get like 3 petrol stations in a row. So in the San Pedro Polígono, you've got a Cepsa, then you've got a Repsol, and then you've got 2 of the what they call the cheaper petrol stations. And we look at it sometimes and it can be 10 cents, maybe even more per litre more in the Repsol. And we're like, why are people filling up there when it's literally 10 cents a litre cheaper?
And you can see it. It's not like you wouldn't know it's there. You can see that. It's very strange, isn't it? So yeah, well worth having a look at that. So go to the Euro Weekly News website or pick up one of their papers and there's an article called Spain Summer Driving Guide.
And while we're on cars and traffic and stuff, can I just say I shared it on the San Pedro guide. So if you want to have a look at the San Pedro guide posts on Instagram or Facebook, at the moment, the police in Marbella are doing lots of stops at different places. So there'll be lots of roundabouts where you'll see lots of police, and they are taking breathalyzer tests and drug tests. So they are trying to catch people that may be over the limit on either of those substances. So don't drink and drive, basically, ever.
Yeah, don't. It's really not worth it. Dad and I were talking about this the other day because there's lots of people who we know who do drink and drive and lots of people who we know who don't. You and I and my dad have never been those people.
No, but also to bear in mind, if you have a big session in a night and then you get up early the next day and drive, you could very well still be over the limit. And I think they do that a lot here as well at the moment. When they're doing these tests. They're looking for those type of people that may have been out to 2 o'clock in the morning, drinking, then up again at maybe 9 o'clock and in the car. And without doubt, you will probably be over the limit. So please bear that in mind as well.
It's just not worth it, isn't it? So it's one thing to be worried about getting caught, but the thing that I'd be worried about the most is obviously having an accident. So people who do drink and drive convince themselves that they're perfectly fine. They've been doing it for years. They know what they're doing. They know they're capable of it. That's all good and well, but if something happened that was out of your control and you had an accident, if you'd been drinking, you're fucked.
Yeah, I mean...
And the guilt that would come with that, if you hurt someone, my God.
So if you're a normal driver, not drinking, and someone ran in front of the car and you didn't have time to stop and it was tragic, then that's horrible enough.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but it's a guilt you still have to live with. You know, could I have stopped? Whatever, it doesn't matter. But if you'd had any alcohol in you and that happened, you'll be in jail. That's it. And that's your life over. That's your life ruined. You would have killed somebody and you've ruined your own life. So, yeah, just think twice before you do it.
Just get a taxi, for God's sake. And one more thing to mention, the La Sala group, I don't know if you've seen this, have opened a new venue.
Yes, I did. I did see this. Isn't it like a cafe hut?
Yeah, riverside venue. It's called Cafe Sala. It's on the Fluvia Walkway.
Oh, say that again. I like that.
Fluvia.
Very good.
It links Puerto Banús and Nueva Andalucía. We've never actually seen it. It's opened quite recently, hasn't it?
It's the new walkway, isn't it? So I think it's like a wooden walkway thing that takes you all the way.
Yeah, it comes out near the clubhouse, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
So I think it's quite near there. It's open from 8 till 8 in the morning till 8 p.m.
Ooh,
They do
8 in the morning. So this is what gets me here. Like when I go to Guadalmina, if I get there at 9 o'clock, there's no cafes open.
That's weird, isn't it? Yeah, you can't get breakfast till 10 a.m.
No. And it's like sometimes when I get there early, I just want a quick coffee somewhere and it's like, no, can't.
That's weird, isn't it? Okay, well, that is it from us this week. We still did a bit of death, but not as much as last week. We've toned it down a bit.
Yes, we have. And we're doing it early this week, aren't we? Because we're going to have a beach day.
Yes. Have a great week ahead. It is goodbye from him.
And it's goodbye from her.